My name's Andrew Wolff. Got a varied background. I've done various different things, but always come back to the leather. I call myself a leather smith. It's something I've done since I was a kid. It's the first memory I have of my grandfather. He was always fiddling with leather, always doing something. And strangely, I've just had this image in my mind of the old man, as sweet as the day is long. He'd always sit in something with leather. And I've always done things with leather. I've never been formally trained or anything, but I've kind of taught myself along the way. I've been in Grahamstown for about 12 years now. Margaret and I moved here 12 years ago. Prior to that, we were both working in the movie industry in Cape Town. Prior to that, I worked on the tuna industry out of Hout Bay. I was the ship's engineer. I really enjoyed that. That was great. The money wasn't good at all, yeah. But the life and the work, that was fantastic. I was ship's engineer. Prior to that, yes, I'd been leathersmithing in Knysna, which prompted us to move to Cape Town, which didn't really work out so well with the leather. I've worked in the motorcycle industry. I've sold oil paintings. I've worked in a jewelry shop, but way back when. That was the first thing I did when I left the military. So I think I've been around the block a little bit.
But you come back to leather?
Always. Somehow, always in the back of my mind, there's always been leather. Even, when I was working on the boats, I was forever making sheaths for other fishermen and, little odds and sods. When I was working in the motorcycle industry, I used to quite often make more from my leather work than I did from my wages. Basically covering brake and clutch levers for, tassels for Harleys and all the rest of it. And that worked quite nicely. I was talking to a friend, Richard Gaber, and he happened to mention you. And you also mentioned, there might be something in leather. And we were just kind of talking. And strangely, he just reached into his back pocket and he said, hey, how about, just show him a wallet, show him anything. And I had made a couple of wallets. This is one of the original ones. When I did meet Graham, or met you, this is the one that you liked. And I really like the idea of started off nice and simple. I think you've seen the work that I've done. It's nice to be able to do these big projects and all the rest of it, but somehow I just like the idea of starting small and growing it and growing it and growing it. A lesson that I learned, and I've learned quite a few, I remember once at art school, I was sitting and I was looking at something that I was doing, and the teacher said to me, what are you doing? I said, I'm thinking. He said, no, you don't think like that. You think when your hands are busy. You have to complete it. Whether you like it or not, you have to complete it and then look at it and see how you'd improve it the next time around. And that always kind of carries on with me. The hardest thing is getting the hands, the motor skills going. It's a whole different muscle set and it's a whole different thinking. But once you can get that stamina, you can start working. But yeah, I think the best thing is to, start with little projects, teach people how to stitch, and just a vague, well not vague, but a rough idea of the different types of leather. You get leathers, and you get skin and you get hides. This is warthog. It's a warthog skin. I prefer the game skins because of the texture and the grain and the scratches and the scar tissue and all the rest of it. Just lends itself to the final product. But getting back to how to train people. I don't know if I'm much of a teacher. People say I'm very patient, but I'm not really so sure about that sometimes. But start small with little objects or things that the person would use or appreciate. Just so that person's got it and can look at it and go, nah, maybe I can improve on the stitching, or let's work on the edge. Or always you'll finish something like I was saying this morning, I've got another idea for these, and it's just building onto it. It's just really building onto it. One of my little dreams would be to build on this, but preferably with a strong foundation. It would be nice to grow a network. What I've done is I've supported the local tanneries. You've got to look carefully at what you want to finish before you pick up the leather. But what I would like to do is basically build on it. Hopefully, I don't want to start a massive industry or anything. I think, if you look at the work that I've done, they've been one-offs, But I think if we can just get 1 or 2 people that can start thinking that way and that could sustain themselves afterwards, hey, the job's done.
Yeah.
Everything else is just a bonus. It would be nice to be able to, I don't want to say get a factory going, but it would be nice to get like-minded people together that can build on a project to get it going